What is going on, everybody? Non here, and we have a special treat tonight. So, if you guys follow any of my distribution updates, I do talk about Bojack's Battle Arena. I've talked about it probably for the last year, maybe a little bit longer than that. Um, and one of the reasons why I've mentioned the first place, and it's kind of badass. Sorry, my lights give me a little glare here. Is it's a super interesting crossover between sports and TCGs. So for those of you who know me, we run a TCG store. We are almost exclusively TCGs. Uh, I love sports. I grew up playing sports. I still play uh, adult league ice hockey at this point in my life, a couple times a week, which is a lot of fun. So this is really a cool crossover because you have the TCG aspect, and I believe Star City Games runs the organized play. They run organized play for a couple different newer games, which is a cool thing that they do. I'm sure they get paid for it, but it's great that they get that level of support. And then the sports side, and what's really cool, and I'll show you this in a second here. The way I think it's kind of interesting because you can get away from the actual licensing itself at the leagues, which Fanatics now has effectively a monopoly on, because the actual sports characters, athletes, whatever you want to call them, they're superheroes. So it's not Bo Jackson Raiders or Bo Jackson Kansas City Royals or any of that stuff. It is just Bojack's the superhero, which is really cool. So before we get into it, don't worry, Jeff. This is not from distribution. This was my retail buy. So I've been buying these retail as long as they've had them out there. And you get these in the mail. You get emails if you buy them, whatever. And they have a really cool marketing campaign that's direct to consumer. And you basically buy it from SRP. But I will tell you right now that these guys right here, retail for these are $545. So they're pricey, right? I mean, you get one on-card autograph, etc. It's in my opinion, it's worth it. What it looks like after this set, how the values hold up, I have no idea. But all the autographs are on card, which is super awesome because that doesn't happen that much in today's day and age because stickers are easy. And, since they're easy, nobody wants them. But you get this in the mail, most likely, so I registered for the Griffey Jr. set, which was the last set, and then they had the Alpha update, which was, oh my God, I don't even know, June of 2025, May of 2025. And then they had the original Alpha set, which I didn't know anything about, so I wasn't really involved at that point in time. But it's super cool. And I mean, the art of this is awesome. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, Tecmo Bowl, Super Tecmo Bowl, this pulls on your heartstrings a little bit. So then on the inside, I've blocked this out through a couple levels of tape just so nobody can figure out who I am at the company because they do watch this stuff on occasion. You have some really cool stuff here. So the challenge that I have, and as we go through this, some of the athletes are going to be really easy. Some of them, not so much. And I know football, baseball, much better than basketball. I think that there's some WNBA athletes. I don't know if there's a whole lot of hockey in here, but it's pretty interesting. So you got Elway, Dak Prescott, Gronk, LT, and then here you have Emmett, Puka Nacua. He has his own issues right now. Bojax, Drew Brees, Randy Moss. And then these cards are absolutely phenomenal, right? They're the 8-bit Bo Jackson, and this was the touchdown graphic or something close to it from Tecmo Bowl when it came out. And then you have all the different on-card autos. Now, obviously, this came out when they were still figuring out who they were going to get signed, who they were getting, who was going to sign, who wasn't going to sign. So that being that, we will kind of throw that to the side. And I managed to get 3 of these. And there's another item that I don't believe is shipped yet. It's cheaper. It's like $3.99. I don't remember what it is. So let's just rip into one of these because I think they're kind of cool. I'll just grab the middle one here. Again, these were $5.45. I think they charge $15 to ship. So $5.60. Market on these is like $7.50, $7.75 on eBay. Now, I do believe the company has a policy. I got to grab a trash can here. 1 second. I do believe the company has a policy. We're not allowed to sell online, outside of streaming, etc., for I think 90 days, which is it's cool, right? Especially since the price of these things, at least so far, has performed quite well. Um, and again, I'm not going to talk about the gameplay because even though I run a reasonably large store at this point, I don't have time to play games. I just had this conversation with somebody today. They're like, "Hey, have you played Gundam?" I said, "Yeah, I played Gundam at Gamma a couple years ago when they baited it. Why don't you play anymore?" Well, got a wife, two kids. Run the store, run all the online stuff. Have a real job, and it's a lot. So, card name, home team heroes. Okay, whatever. So real quick, and I mentioned this previously. So GTS carries this, Southern carries it, but I believe most of this is done direct to consumer. So if you're a store, sign up for organized play, and like every organized play, yeah, everybody's kind of drinking through a fire hose. So you have 500, 1,000 stores who all want to understand why I didn't get set up yesterday. But Modern Hobby Distribution is a website. They own Bojackson Battle Arena and also Wonders of the First, which I don't know that much about. So this is a hobby box. Again, one on-card auto. Take a look at this. Boba on the big stage, $500,000 in prizes. That's cool. Boba Play Tour. Blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, you guys can use these. I don't really care what they are. What's also cool, and hopefully I'm on doxing the store here to these folks. We did get some really cool stand-up cards to put in the store, sent to us. I believe it's probably through our relationship with one of the distributors. It was a Dak Prescott. There was an Lawrence Taylor. There was a Dan Marino, which was really cool. It's like a shark chasing him. And then the two Bo Jacksons, which, super good quality. Literally the most badass thing ever. So we'll look at this real quick. So this is just the parallels and the inserts. And quite honestly, I still haven't figured this out after 3 sets. But the regular black borders are kind of boring, and everything that's flashy is kind of a chase card. So yeah, it almost feels like sports. Again, from the perspective of there's a million iterations. So let me slide this back a little bit because I do want to get to the. I can't. Let's change that. We'll see if we can bend this here a little bit and get to the weapons. So we have the Fire, Ice, Steel, and Brawl, which I believe are your elements. So you have the Battle Foil and Non-Foil. These are rares, commons. So Brawl and Steel are commons. Ice and Fire, it looks like, are rare. You have the Glow, which is ultra rare. Hex is secret rare. Bubblegum is secret rare. And then the Tecmo, the Super Foil, is a 1 of 1. So I believe any of these rares can have the on-card autos. I'm not quite sure. I know most of the autos I got previously were they kind of had the white border here, but I have no idea. Really, really cool insert. You may have hit a Bo Jackson autographs. I don't know here. New code is on the back of the card. Do not share the code, so I'm not going to share this. I'm guessing this is probably potentially the anti-gambling thing. I don't know how it works, especially with sports. I did see today that there is a pretty significant lawsuit in the state of California between a bunch of people, Fanatics and eBay. I don't know if it's eBay or not. It's somebody else, but I'm sorry, it's not eBay. It is Whatnot and Fanatics, based on the legality of box breaks and mystery packs, and really comes down to the definition of what is gambling, what is regulated, what isn't. Because in most, again, for those of you who aren't aware, we'll open these in a second after I'm done bullshitting for a little bit. During the deregulation, effectively, of sports betting, for the longest time, you could only bet on sports in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and in Las Vegas. Delaware basically challenged that. went to the Supreme Court. And for the longest time in Delaware, you could only bet parlays, and a bunch of bullshit bets. But they ended up winning, deregulated everything. The right to legalize gambling goes to the state. It is not a federal thing. No different than legalized marijuana. Same deal, really the same court precedent through Supreme Court. So when you think about gambling, we have sports betting, you have the lottery, which in most states is, I believe, well, most, it might actually be all states, is run by the state. So it is state mandated, state run. But then you have things, and these go back into like the 50s, 60s, if not before, where you have 50-50 raffles, you have bingo, all this other bullshit. They have their own gambling rules, which it gets really, really convoluted. This one tends to be in the state of California, in my personal opinion, is between digital rips, which are completely unregulated, and just the absolute the risk and the opportunity to game the system and fuck people over is astronomically high. Rip and chips, you pay somebody to open a pack, they open the pack for you, get what you pay for. It's not gambling. Now, whether the actual cards themselves are gambling or not, they haven't been forever. That was one of the big issues with Wizards of the Coast back in 1993. That's one of the things that they were acutely aware of. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with sports breaks. Personally, if you're buying a pack, somebody opens a pack for it, it's not gambling. If you are participating in a game of chance where you do not have a defined item that you're getting, and it can go up or down, it's gambling. It should be regulated. I just don't know how the individual states are going to do it, because quite honestly, something like that, it's going to take years of litigation. There's so much fucking money behind it. It's going to get appealed and appealed and appealed until it dies a slow death, probably 7 years down deadline. So that being said, let's get started. So ages 8+, 2 players, 5 to 15 minutes, which, by the way, 5 to 15 minutes is about the extent of time that I can play a game, which is really, really cool. This is going to be a tough one because this is small. For appropriate ads per pack, please visit blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Okay. So let's get right into it. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video. We're already 12 and a half minutes in, which I don't really care about. So Shadow Strike. I have no idea who that is, but it's really, really cool because you have like the Tecmo Bowl thing in the background. That's sweet. So this is ice. So I think it was Fire and Ice. They're rares. Reindeer Hunter. I have no idea. But that's kind of cool. Moose Johnson, maybe? I don't know. First Leap. I assume this is somebody from the Green Bay Packers. Lambeau Leap, 36. Running back. No idea. Yeah, again, this is the fun of this because I have no idea who half these guys are. Lawman, I should know this. Rams. 16 though. 16's the running back number or receiver number. That's weird. I don't know. I have no idea. Jacks in the box. So that's interesting. Let's go to our little cheat sheet here. We'll keep this right next to us. So this is, I don't even know what the hell this is. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably something rare. Sorry, guys. I wish I knew. Anyway, so we'll set that one to the side. Here you have your game cards, and then you have your hot dogs. The hot dogs are kind of fun. They have these in every set. Again, if I learned to play, I would know what they do, but I haven't done it yet, and I will get it at some point. Let me slide this toward myself a little bit here. Okay. So again, there's 20 packs, which is really cool. 20 packs is probably the right number. Scatter, I guess that's Cam Scatterbo. Giants, at least I know that one. Furnace, I don't know if there's an Ernest something or other. I can't really tell. 21. I have no idea. Dartboard, Jack's Dart. Billiard. I should know that. Oh well. Switchblade. Switchblade. Travis Hunter, probably. I'm guessing. Yeah, it looks Jacksonville. Plays both sides of the ball. Flippa. That's cool. Tecmo Bowl Sports News. I don't know what this is, but this is a pretty badass looking card. There we go. The Skyline Fire? No. Halftime. I don't know. I don't know who Flippa is. I don't know who 83 is. 95 is kind of cool. I assume that's supposed to be his Tecmo Bowl rating. I don't know. It's a cool looking card. But one of the issues I have, and I rarely open trading cards at this point, but one of the issues I have is when you have a new set, you don't really know what the good cards are. And quite honestly, that was one of the issues I have with Sorcery is you don't know what's good, what's not. You don't know what the chase is. And it kind of sucks. This is kind of cool. Reptilian. Is this Mark Rippon? That would be something. 11. It kind of looks Redskins. DeVolta. Oh my God. Miami. I don't know. I should know. No, Miami has. Yeah, he's not there anymore. Moose. McVillain. That's kind of funny. Let's see. Let me move these over here. Sorry, I'm just organizing a little bit. McVillain. What the fuck is that? Number 4. Rookie card. Quarterback for somebody. I should probably know. I don't. My bad. Oh well. And then we have this other stuff. But yeah, that's what's kind of cool because like you look at the cards and it's like I don't know who that is, and then all of a sudden you hit somebody darn old. That's funny. I assume this is Travis Darnold, and this is something to do with like he's not that old, but something with Seattle. I don't know. Hot sauce. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Is that like Sauce Gardner? I thought he retired. Rippin, quarterstaff. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So what do we have here? Braun number 11. Oh, so it's certainly not Ryan Braun. So he's probably like 50 now. I don't know who that is. Interesting. But that's a cool card. And it's interesting because you have like the power at the top, card number, hammer. Oh my God, I don't have a number on this guy. Number 8. Rams? No. This is what's his name for the Chargers? Oh my God, he was hurt most of the year because I had him in fantasy football, and after week 3, he kind of screwed me over. It's unfortunate. Hopefully the guy's healthy. But yeah, McCarver knife, Rip, Darnold, Magic Man. Yeah, Magic Man was that? That wasn't the Drew Brees, was it? That was a different one. Yeah, anyway, Braun. So this is glow. So this is the super rare, I think. That's probably the worst hit per pack that I've gotten. So it looks like you have the 3 tacticals. Tacticals? Whatever these things are. Plays. I guess they're plays. 3 plays in the hot dog, and the one right before that is going to be the hit card of the pack. Bison, McVillain, Friday. Yeah, there's no way I figured that one out. Number 1. Helicopter. DeVolta, hot sauce. Again, so this is, I don't know what that is, but it's not an auto, so we'll move on. So it seems like this is much, much more weighted for football, which, Tecmo Bowl, no shit, right? Flippa, Phoenix, number 10. Cardinals, maybe? I don't know. It's certainly not Kyler Murray. Chainsaw, water slide. That's kind of cool. Swervin. Number 88. I don't know. Is this what's his name? Penn State tight end for the Raiders. I don't know. I got no idea. I'm just talking out of my ass at this point. Crystal Carlita. Okay. But yeah, so this is the, I don't know what it is. Sorry, guys. The hobby exclusives. Well, it's definitely a hobby exclusive. But I don't know what it is. Muffin Man. That's kind of funny. Shrouded. We got something here. J Jets. Oh, that's cool. Jefferson. Wow. Okay, we're gonna look at this one because this is cool. And I think these cards are printed in Colorado. I never looked to see who the printer was. I can find it out in like 5 seconds. But the quality on these is decent. It's for sure. Tech Mobile. Yeah, it's got to be Justin Jefferson. So let's see. This is all right. So this is found in all sets. This is more logo foils. All right. I love the names of the cards, but I have no idea what's what because unless it says it on there, I am completely clueless. So, all right, Flip of Phoenix, Crisscross. That's interesting. Muffin Man, Fern. Okay, all right. Is this Gronk? We got Gronk Auto here. Well, we don't have Gronk Auto, but we have Gronk. That would be cool if that was Gronk Auto. That would have been fucking fire. So this is Jesus. I don't know. It doesn't tell me, but that is an absolute beautiful card. That's cool. I'm gonna move some of these packs out here. I also looked online. I saw on YouTube there's like one guy who was streaming. That's it, or his streamed an opening, and I assume it's probably because all of this. Muffin Man, yeah, that's Brawl. Yeah, that's a terrible pack. I assume it's because most of the retail stuff just showed up yesterday or today. Looks like it all ships out of Texas. So being in the Northeast here, it's probably 3-day ship, 2-day ship. Scary. Is that Terry McLaurin? Scary Terry. That's kind of cool. I don't know his number. Warp. Yeah. We got something here. Warp. What the fuck is this? I'm gonna say this is ice. This is okay. So this is Gum Gold Skyline 8-bit halftime show. Okay, so then they have the rest of these battalions. Yeah, so these halftime show, is that what it is? I don't know who Warp is. I don't know who number 8 is. Vikings, maybe. I don't know. That's probably not. I don't. So I was mentioning to somebody earlier this week, the first pack of these I opened, Mr. Irrelevant. Is this fucking what's his name for the 49ers quarterback? It's gotta be. He was drafted dead last in the draft. He's good. I hate him because he's good. And they've played very well against the Eagles. Anyway, so the first one of these I opened was for Alpha Update, and when I got it, I'm like, I don't know any of this, so I'm trying to figure out the characters and all that stuff. I have no idea, and being a lifelong Eagles fan, I get, oh, this is cool. This is 80s red, probably. I get a Jimmy Johnson auto, and it just says, "How about them Cowboys?" So ever since then, I'm cracking up at this because it's like the game's trolling me. Okay, so we have Neon. I assume that's not Deion Sanders. Maybe. I guess he played. Yeah, that's wrong. Never mind. He played for the Cowboys for a while. I'm an idiot. Oh, that's cool. I mean, I would imagine it's Dion. That's well. Anyway, not gonna make any other comments about that. Speaking of former Cowboys, Barreler, Hand, Switchblade, Braun. All right, so at some point we're gonna get an auto Friday. There it is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs left. I'm just gonna take that. Take the insert, move it out of the way. You guys get the picture. It's really, really cool. And you know, unlike a lot of the top stuff that you get or the Panini stuff, yeah, we get some Leaf stuff, which is cool, but you know, I don't have any of the any licenses, and everything's. Oh, I guess this is okay. So it's the rare. That's interesting. None of the autos are on card. You know, there's some value here. You know, the rest of the stuff you rip, and the chances are you just get your face ripped off. I mean, we've had a bunch of cards from the older sets that have sold for a couple $100, and I don't know why. I don't know who they are. You just kind of miracle. You just kind of follow the lead. Oh my God, who is this? Is this number 0? It's not 0. Detroit Lions, maybe. Dreads. Is it Gibbs? Is Jabbar Gibbs? Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. One day we'll figure it out. I'll probably look all these up after. You know, we're almost a half hour on already. Youngblood. That's a cool looking card. Slaughterhouse. Jack in the Box. We have our auto here. Golden Bullet. I don't know who that is. Oh, Jackson Dart. No auto on that. But that's a cool card. All right, look at this now. This is helmets. Yeah, you can see all the helmets there. I don't know what that is. But yeah, it's a cool card. Now look, Jackson Dart's the second coming. If you talk to anybody in New York, you just has to get down and stay healthy, which is what seems to happen with all the quarterbacks in the NFC East. Little dent here in the packaging, which is not ideal. And the back of the, I think that's the way they're just printed. Buttman. I'm actually, if I was making Buttman, it'd be Mark Sanchez. That's just me. I don't know who that is. McVillan, Hot Sauce. Whoa. Okay, we have our auto. I don't know who that is. Randy White debut. Okay. I got to look this up. Okay, Randy White, American football player. Dallas Cowboys, 75/88. Defensive tackle, cool. Lives in Pittsburgh. Nice. Okay. Linebacker, defensive tackle, defensive end, defensive lineman, and fullback. All right, that's cool. Of course, I get more fucking Cowboys, but anyway. Let me sleeve that bad boy up just because. I'll find it here. And if you see this, you can see. I mean, you got. Oops. Let me go to the camera so I can see what I'm doing. You get a nice little blue ink marker. Fantastic autograph from this guy. That's awesome. All right, put him there. Now, the odds of me getting a second autograph are probably 0, But hey, at least we didn't get it in the first pack, which is good. Shepherd, sure. Slaughterhouse. 84. I don't know. I don't know who that is. I should, but I don't. Cleveland Browns, maybe. Tight end? Who can never stay healthy? I don't know. Okay, we got another hit in here. Sweetest of sweet. What the fuck is that? Okay, 34. I have no idea. I have no idea who that is. I'm pretty sure it's not what's his name. Is it? Oh my god. I'm having a braid for it here. Was it Bears running back? Sweetness. He just passed away in the last couple years, I think. So I can't imagine it's him, but hey, you never know. That's a sweet card for sure. So anyway, guys, that's all I got. Again, it's a fun open for something worth or that sells. My cost was $560. It's going to be spiky, and I think getting your value back, who knows? You just don't know. But again, it's it's fun to rip and see what you get. So anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe, join the Discord, and make sure you check out Bojack's Battle Arena. It's a lot of fun, and if you like TCGs, check it out. If you like sports, it's cool as well. So anyway, guys, have a good night.